So we all agree the Niners basically should move on from Jimmy Garoppolo for various reasons. If they do, should they sign, trade for, or draft his replacement? And I know they're going to do a combination of things, but I'm talking starter next year. Should it be someone they trade for, like Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford, someone they draft, or someone they sign, like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Dak, Maverick?
I think it depends. First off, I'm not saying Nick Mullins is going to be the starter next year, but I'm saying I think it depends on how Nick Mullins finishes the season, because if he does play well, I think that he would be your backup next year. If he doesn't play well, I think you need to completely overhaul the 3 quarterbacks on the roster and draft a guy, maybe not in the first round, but get a guy eventually in the draft. I'm tired of having Wilton Spate and Brock Ruder was the undrafted guy this year. They need a young guy to actually develop. Mullins was the guy they were developing. Now they need a new guy because Mullins is either going to be their veteran backup or not on the team next year. So they got to draft someone in the 7 rounds, and they got to get in a veteran, whether it's Tyrod Taylor or Jacoby Brissett, a veteran backup, not a starter, to kind of supplement a little thing.
Yes, and yes to each one. Whatever is on the table, they're going to explore the hell out of each one, man. They're going to be like coal miners looking for coal. Just what are our options here? We just need a quarterback somehow, some way. I think more so 100% they're going to draft no matter what, because whether it's in the first round, second, third round, they're going to look for someone, because you can find starters in the second or third round. It is possible. I could see them 100%. The more likely scenario, if they're looking for a starter, they move on Garoppolo, is free agency, like someone like a Fitzpatrick. I would have to really look specifically who's available to really think who's the fit here. But I don't even think if Mullins plays well down the stretch, that even matters, to be honest. I think Kyle knows what he has there, and he just wants someone that's more polished, more someone that he can actually lay faith to. I know Mullins knows the system and such, but, I think all that's a moot point compared to what the talent could be out there. You have someone more polished out there that can get you, that can maximize the potential on offense. And there's one thing that Kyle hates is if he doesn't have the right personnel out there, then he's just going to be absolutely livid.
Yeah, I think that what they're going to do is they're going to need to look at what Mullins does over these next couple of weeks, because I understand that Shanahan might think he knows what he has in him, but Mullins hasn't been able to play with Samuel. He's never had a snap this year with Samuel Mostert. He hasn't played with these guys, so we need to see what he does over these next couple of weeks to really see what they have in him moving forward. If they move on from Garoppolo, that entire QB room is left with nothing going into next year. So they really need to see what he does, because if he can go out and play well, even if they don't win, 4, 5 out of the next 6, and to get to 9-7 or whatever, if they can go 4-2, he's a guy that I think you're going to want to bring back to compete with a veteran like, say, Fitzpatrick or somebody like that to fill that spot. I like Stafford, I like those guys, but they're too expensive. Moving on from Garoppolo for one of them is really keeping the same problem in place. So, I think I would like to have Mullins with a veteran to compete, and try to get one of those guys in the first round would be really nice.
Yeah, I agree with everything Jack said. I think it's interesting you guys want to see more from Nick Mullins. He's coming. I would want him back. I think he's the best. He's a perfect backup. He's not going to be expensive. They turned down a trade offer for him last year. You don't just give up on him. I think he comes back. Beathard leaves. Garoppolo leaves. And I really like basically what the Dolphins. I would do the Dolphins strategy. Sign Fitzpatrick, keep Mullins, draft the best available quarterback in round 1. It's working really well for Miami right now. There look like there's going to be a bunch of quarterbacks who will be there for the Niners in round 1 who are really legit first-round prospects with talent. I would do that. And now you get Mullins, Fitzpatrick, and a first-round pick, 3 quality quarterbacks for cheaper than Jimmy Garoppolo. What?
Hey, why are you saying the Dolphins strategy? The Chargers did that strategy too, man.
They did.
It's just not in the right way. It kind of helped.
They just don't have as good of a coach as the Dolphins do.
No, I don't even know what Anthony Lynn does, but yeah.
Yeah. But you see these rookie quarterbacks really do very well unless they're drafted by the Bears, Jets, Giants, Jaguars. There's some things that you can't overcome as a young kid. But coming to the Niners really would be set up for success until he goes to the meeting room with Kyle Shanahan on Mondays and just gets reamed.
And plus, at least if you start that rookie 4 to 5 weeks and down the line of next season, then you'd be assured more like, okay, yeah, our offensive line is more sturdy, because the Chargers and the Dolphins, like, they're not the best offensive lines, but at least they're sturdy enough to keep these guys clean. You're over there looking at Burrow who's getting lit up like every now and then.
I got one more point to make before we move on. Again, coming back to Kyle Shanahan and his contract that goes through 2025. If any coach in the league can draft a quarterback round 1 and start him right away and say, hey, we'll let him take his lumps and we want him to develop and we'll be good when we'll be good. We don't have to win right away. It's Shanahan. I mean, you think they're in a win now mode, but they could be in a reload mode. And what are they going to do? Fire him? He has the mandate to go get a quarterback and start him and develop him. I'd like to see him do it. I mean, it's not like his job's on the line unless I put him on the hot seat, which I could do at any minute, but I'm not going to.